Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I dey vex so.
Safari.
On the door.
Free us. Free us.
I dey vex.
Free us.
I dey vex. Some they call me pagan. Then they say I be Satan. Cause I believe I be winner. Stop calling me a sinner. If you truly believe in the church, as I don't want to know. If you really believe in the mosque, me I don't want to know. If you believe in the pastors, as I don't want to know. If you believe in the imam, me I don't want to know. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself. Oh lo. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself from mental slavery. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself.
So, good evening, everybody from Nigeria. Let me get it started without wasting further time. I'm here to quickly talk about. It will be a brief one because there's no electricity. I'm broadcasting from Nigeria in case you're watching from anywhere because of the title coronavirus, which is a global issue. It's pandemic already, so it's widespread. So, guess what, everybody? Coronavirus may have its own bad parts or whatsoever or whatnot, but it has also come with its own good side somehow. How do I mean? This virus has actually exposed a lot of hypocrisies about what we claim or what the world or the societies have always told us are, but actually we're fake. And I want to begin with religion, for instance. I grew up learning about the balm of Gilead, the healing ointments, the blood, the name, and all that. I'm not saying they don't work, alright? I'm not saying there is no power of God. I'm also not saying there are no spiritual forces or powers. Far from it. All of those definitely exist. As far as they exist, where they exist. However, my point here is that we have used religion to fool ourselves the more. At the end of the day, everything is just about business. Okay, I remember the Bible says that the house of God is the sacred place that the righteous will run into it and shall be saved, isn't it? How come churches are closing because of coronavirus? Does it not expose to us that we've been fooling ourselves all along? Oh, how many churches can we run to and get healing? I'm supposed to be able to run into the church and get saved. Somebody is asking the title of the song I entered with. The song is by Larry Safari and is titled Shine Your Eyes. You can find it on YouTube. Shine Your Eyes is by Larry Safari. Let me put the comment on this place so that everybody would see the comment and we can always share along. Alright? So I am not here to tell you powers don't exist. I'm here to say if they do, why are the supposed spiritual centers closing? Because the pastors are equally afraid of contacting the virus, or the pastor is afraid that the virus might even spread from their own centers and it will bring shame upon them that there are no powers with them after all. Similarly, why are pastors still failing to, if you want to suspend activities after all, they are now taking advantage of the internet? How about you then convert those places to business centers that employ people and pay them instead of places where you collect tithe and offering? Why are you asking people to now be listening to your broadcasts online and to be able to pay their offering online similarly? Does it not go to show that at the end of the day all you care about is that offering? Because if you truly care about what others have to say, or if you truly care about the lives and welfare of your members, when you close down the church, you should not be asking for offering at this time. What you should be asking for, because what are you going to do with the offering after all? What you should be asking to do at this time is releasing the odd instead of buying the number fifth private jet at this time. And I'm not here to say your pastor is not doing well. Oh, it's doing well definitely. But I'm simply saying that you should also begin to request your demand from your pastors to begin to do right. And if you are here to say, oh Shegun, you love criticizing so much, yes, the criticism is what has helped a lot in this country and in the world. Otherwise, nobody wanted to listen to anything. Each time we say this thing is not right, it is the defenders of their oppressors that always come out to say it is not in your it is not your business to do. It's not in your purview. It's not in your jurisdiction. Leave us. We are the ones who go to church. It's not your business. But churches are closing. Okay, you that are always busy wasting fund. You see people who need money, who need food here, you don't give them. You go waste the money on religious pilgrimage. You go waste the money on religious tourism. Okay, now the countries where those religions originated from and where they always wanted to bring the money to have closed their borders. They have shut their airports against you. They say no, for now we want to be safe. Does that mean there's no more balm in Gilead? And I'm not here to make jests. I'm here to provoke our thoughts. Can we start thinking? Because if these things truly exist and are useful, if these things that these people are claiming are useful are actually there, the ointments of healing are actually there, why should they be closing it against people who have been, bringing in the fund that sustains what they are doing all the whiles? Why shut your border? Why shut your airport against them? That is on the first. On the second is that, have you also noticed that economies are crashing because of coronavirus? Oh, it simply means that if the price of oil, for instance, could go down in the international market, which is what Nigeria relies upon, that means it is also exposing that Nigeria has been fake all the while. Now they have reduced Nigeria's budget by about 1.3 trillion, or is it 3 point something trillion naira now? I don't even know, because it doesn't affect me ever since they have been putting the budget up. We are the ones paying to sustain the flamboyant lifestyle of our lawmakers and lawbreakers. Can you see now? So the price of oil has gone down because of coronavirus. So if anybody goes to church and says, oh, my economy is operated from heaven, I run the economy of heaven, my sources are Philippians 4:19, 4:19, my God shall supply all my needs according. Can you now see that when we say let us all protest against bad governance, you say it doesn't concern you? Can you now see it concerns you? Meaning that everything that happens in the global economy or market, every wrong policies or decisions of government actually have effect on you. Can you now see what we're talking about here? So everything affects all of us, and the government has been insincere. But it's not yet uhuru for those of you who are thinking that, the coronavirus isn't widespread in Nigeria. It's not even going to affect us after all. We are black people. Oh, we got melanin on our skin. It's a very strong threshold. We have strong immune system. They say because we consume gin a lot here, and because our weather is also very hot, which coronavirus cannot stand. Excuse me. Before coronavirus and even during coronavirus, we have had so many things or reasons that Nigeria is suffering from something worse than coronavirus. Yes. Those that have problem with coronavirus, you heard that China was building massive hospital in 3 days, and they completed it. The hospitals we have here, what are they capable of handling? Even malaria, people die here. Malaria, people die here in Africa. So let's stop saying, let's us all stop saying that Africa is free of the virus. What about your bad government? Okay. Let me even ask. How many days ago now? It was on Sunday, right? Where there was explosion at Abuliado, Amuwo Dolphin, somewhere in Lagos State, Festac area. Okay? Do you know how many people died? No coronavirus, but people still die in Nigeria every day. So do not think it is only by coronavirus that anybody can die. There's There are 1001 ways or 1001 traps that are taking Nigerians down every day. Another hypocrisy, even from that particular one, is that the Lagos State government or governor then came out to say he was announcing 2 point something billion naira public trust fund or something to assist, the displaced resident or affected members of the community where the explosion happened. Excuse me, I'll tell you for free. It has also exposed that our government is fake. Why should you be saying you are releasing public account number for people to pay into to support, to give relief support to affected members of that community? Oh, are you saying we did not have something in the budget called a disaster relief fund or something? Nothing specially set aside for unforeseen circumstances as such? I remember. But our lawmakers could have their own 2.4 billion naira to buy cars without consulting with us. There will be fund for those ones. 2 point something billion naira to buy cars for your lawbreakers. But there will be no money to give succor or relief or settlement to, or help of resettlement to those who are displaced by that inferno. Schools were involved. Children were there. Casualties, we don't even know the correct figure as it stands right now. Hundreds of buildings are reported to have been down already from that explosion. And we are here still praying. We are still on our knees praying, even when churches are closing shop, because they are also your pastor, your private jets pastor is also afraid of opening the church to the virus. And you cannot open your head if after this coronavirus period, you still go back to that church after they closed it against you when you need them the most. Then I don't know how else to describe the way you think. No, if at the time you need it the most, they closed it against you. At the time you ought to express or exercise your faith the most in that particular religious practice, the religious center is closing shop against you and asking you to be sending your offering over the air. Then something is wrong if you go back there. Because the time they need you is the only time they open the shops to you. It's the only time they open the worship centers to you. The time you need them, they close it. Can you imagine? The other time they were talking about another crisis. I can't remember exactly what that crisis was again. And we were saying, I think it was xenophobia in South Africa and the rest of them. And we were saying, why can't pastors that have private jets send their craft to go and assist Nigerians who want to come back home? They will not release it. They will not. Okay, that private jet can no longer go outside of Nigeria. Your pastors are back to the country. Your president can no longer go and treat his air infection in London. So all those private jets are back in Nigeria as we speak right now. Can you not see hypocrisy? Can you not already decode that? And yet we'll still have people defending APC and defending PDP and defending RCCG, defending MFM, defending this and that. Against your own self. Against humanity. And I've said this many times already, that if the heaven they are preaching to us actually exists, because it doesn't look like anything these people are telling us is even real after all. Because if these things are real, why are you closing shop against coronavirus? Isn't that supposed to be the place where people are supposed to get healing? Now, if that heaven were to be real after all, will God be judging us by our religion? Or will he be judging our character? The way we relate with each other when we need each other the most? Oh, your pastor is closing the church against you because he fears coronavirus? And you will still go back to that church when this crisis is over? Because that is the time he will now need you to come and be paying tithe and offering. And he'll be telling you, God bless you. My God has made you survive. It's not true. It's all fake, spoof. And I've always said it. If he continues to tell you to pray, see, there are so many ways to detect that a man of God, or sorry, a pastor, or a prophet, a clergy, or a cleric is fake. So many ways. Anyone who asks me to pray against Satan is a fake. You know why? God and Satan always sit together to agree. It's true. Ask Job in the Bible now. If Satan would truly die, how come my ancestors prayed against it? It is still standing. It was my ancestors that died. My forefathers prayed against it. They are the ones who died. My father prayed against it, and he still bequeathed the same to me to continue praying against the same thing. Yet, from my own logical interpretation of the Bible, Satan and God always agree what to do with us. And you are praying that Satan should die. Don't you think your pastor is lying for you? Or lying to you? It's all fake. All fake. Anyways, I digress. Let me come back to potentials in Africa. Now that there's coronavirus, don't you think it is time for Africa to begin to explore its own potentials? I mean, in the past, we have listened and explored the solution of the West to African problems, solution of the West to global problems, and we are still in crisis. Don't you think it is time we begin to look at or explore African solutions and apply them to African problems, and African solutions to be exported to the world to solve global problems? For instance, if we look inward very well, if you have sponsored the research adequately, we will discover that in less than how many hours already that it declared that there was coronavirus or pandemic ravaging some countries, Nigeria or Africa could have come up with a solution or several solutions. And what are these solutions? We have tradomedical solutions here. We have herbs that can cure those things if researches are done or conducted on the elements that we have here in Africa. Absolutely. Do you know what? It took the West, who initially told us that our marijuana is bad, but we were selling a killer tobacco to us and adding the warning, smokers of tobacco are liable to die young. It took the same people who asked us to ban our marijuana to come back and say that they need our marijuana to be curing cancer. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, that's exactly the point. So we need to begin to explore African solutions to African problems. Otherwise, how come as it stands right now, the global solutions that we have been exploring are still putting us in one crisis to the other? As I was always telling the religious folks who are my friends, excuse me, the places where you got this religion from, they already moved on because they know that they gave you fraud, they gave you lies, asking you to be praying when they are moving on to other things. Guess what? Those countries or regions where you got your religion from, they are busy developing and creating more weapons of mass destruction. To do what? Isn't Islam supposed to be religion of peace? Isn't Christianity supposed to be religion of love? But the two religions from their region of origin are busy building weapons of mass destruction. To do what? Love against peace and peace against love are busy building weapons of mass destruction. And we are here praying and queuing behind each of them to say when the war breaks out, I will hold on to the fate of this particular region. The other will say I will hold on to. In fact, there are now even further subdivisions in each of these two religions. The Anglicans are different from the Catholic are different from the Celestial are different from the Cherubins are different from the Pentecostals. And the Pentecostals are also even further divided now. There's the RCCG, the MFM block against the CAC, and the rest of them are large kilo shelle. And even in Islam, some will say they are Shiite, others are Sunnis. Why do you continue to divide humanity and all of you are busy building weapons of mass destruction? To fight Satan, or to fight your fellow human? These are times we need to begin to reverse and go back to nature and humanity. All of these synthetic religions and synthetic things that we are doing are not helping. They are not helping. Now, those that were busy building nuclear weapons are afraid of coronavirus. So, you that you are building weapon of mass destruction, you too can be afraid of death. Can you imagine? The person that was busy designing weapons of mass destruction, oh, in case it starts, I want to launch drone to go to so region and kill the people, decimate them. So the same people are now afraid of coronavirus. So that means you only are selfish and self-centered, and you don't care about the welfare of others. You only care that they die. If you can no longer make them die, if you can no longer benefit from their existence, you want to decimate them. That is the hypocrisy of the world. Oh, hypocrisy of the world. And yet Africa has not realized itself. We are busy chasing the African dream. All of us are glued to the television watching sci-fi. Glued to the television chasing American dream. And it becomes a rhetorical question. Who will dream for Africa if all of us are busy chasing the American dream? We have lost everything. Everything. And it's just so annoying. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't speak too much, but we need to begin to search ourselves, search our hearts, search our resources, search our natural deposits, and find solutions from there. Africa can solve coronavirus. We can begin to export things that solve problems for the world, and we will no longer need oil, so that the price of oil will no longer be what we depend on. Now, for how long have they already reduced? The price of oil has gone down in the international market. I said it how many days ago. Even when the price of oil went a little down, Jonathan reduced, as bad as Jonathan was, as terrible as Jonathan was, he reduced, fuel pump price. But we are here. Can you imagine? And we are here. The price went as low as it had never been since 1991. And how much it was even due to our own criticisms and voices that we say, won't you reduce price? Are we going to be subsidizing the rest of the world, even though the oil is our own? We'll still be buying it at higher prices when the world is already buying it at very cheap rates. It was because we shouted, we clamored, the civil society groups are about to start protesting. That they now said, okay, let us take off 15 naira out of the money. How much was fuel when Buhari came in? What was the benchmark? What was, the price of barrel of oil at that time? How much is it now? How much are we supposed to be buying? As of when had the price of oil already falling in the international market? When is Buhari just waking up and his administration and his coterie, of jesters? When did they just wake up to realize that they needed to take 10 or 15 naira out of the money? But you still have the same oppressed people who are the ones sponsoring the flamboyant lifestyle of their oppressors. They will still be the ones defending the actions of their oppressors. Their oppressors in government, their oppressors that are in church, and their oppressors in mosque. Hey, don't go there. Touch not my anointed. Me inko disanointed abi. Oh, your pastor wasn't born through a woman? Or I was born through Satan abi? Mumu. Anyways, let me take comments. I don't want to say too much. Somebody says Shegun, religion was created to control the world. I've done my research and knew the religion was forcefully giving our forefathers and turned them into slavery. Why would God and his son come to die for my sin when he can kill the devil? Absolutely. I've asked this question many times yet no answer. Thank you, Mark Sonny on Facebook. Now on YouTube, Latifatu Moreno says Nigerians wake up. On Facebook again, Abdul Shehu says we need more of this. Okay, we'll try. Charlie Boy Jr. on Facebook says, I thank God that this virus backfire. It went everywhere and eat everybody together. These old people supposed die. Girl. Agawa Igebo is just laughing. Or what emoticon is that? Marvelous Ilobi on YouTube says the one who created the world and everything in it still has the capacity or capabilities to save the world and everything in it. Just if we submit to him. You see, we are still being religious. We are still talking about the role of God. We are not talking about the role of man. And that is where the problem is. In Africa, the role of man has been put under. We want to obscure the role of man completely. Why? And we want to put everything on God. Really? God has played his part. God requires us to be human and care for ourselves. Stop building the nuclear weapons to destroy humanity. Stop designing viruses to attack humanity, all because of commercial capital or power interests. All humans are same after all. No matter how powerful you think you are, we are all equal before death. Yes, once you are dead, it is the same way everybody will die. Once you are dead, you can't lift your hand again, you can't lift your finger. And that's just a fact. We are all the same regardless of how rich you be. So why are you building a nuclear weapon to destroy humanity as if you will have the world till the end of life? It's not possible, guys. Humanity first. So let's stop putting all our burdens on God. Let's start thinking about what is humanly required of us as beings, so that we can start playing our own roles very well too. The moment we start playing our roles very well, we will not need to be praying to God. He will perform his own roles after all. And I always made example of what happened in the Bible. God did not put his hand in the land of Egypt and carry all of them and throw them in the land of the promised land. What he did was to send somebody to say, go and lead them. They have to work. They have to work for their freedom. They have to fight for it. So after they already started working and doing their part, by the time they got to the side of the Red Sea and it became humanly impossible, God then intervened. If you have not walked to that tip of the river will not open now until you do your part and get to the boundary of that Red Sea. It will not part for you to pass. The Red Sea will not part for you to pass until you have made your own efforts that is humanly possible to get to the boundary of the river, to the river bank. Otherwise it will not part. On Facebook, BC says, Shagun, the problem of Nigeria, our leader, our clerics and the political class. Absolutely. But the problem is also more of the followers. Because if we all say we don't want this nonsense again, it will stop. But for as long as we are divided along political lines, religious lines, denomination, and the rest of them, we will continue to have these problems. Or tribes, we will have problems. So they thrive on our division. Because some are saying, oh, Ranka Didi, you are doing well, sir. Oh, you don't mind the whalers. They will continue to thrive against the people. So it's not always about the leaders. For instance, if the church no longer has people coming because all of them have woken up, do you think any cleric will be our problem again? Absolutely no. Uromi says this coronavirus outbreak was prevented by Nostradamus about the coronavirus in the year 1551, which says there will be a twin year 2020 from, okay, I think I read something like that. It says Psalm says created Adam and Eve and allowed Lucifer access to them who planted the tree. But let's not attack religions too much here. It's for those that can think. Those that cannot think, there's nothing you can do about them. It's just the truth. If God cannot destroy Satan by himself, God created. I was not there when God and Satan had disagreements in heaven. Now, was I there? And so why would God have problem with Satan, be unable to deal with him, and will now send him down to the earth to come and be tormenting innocent me that did not know what the two of them had in dealing? No, there are some accounts that you should probe before you accept now. No, it's not. Some people just sat down and concocted these things. That is not to say there are no forces. They definitely are. But the accounts given to us are true. And now, the accounts so given to us are true. That's the question. How true is the account given to us? Anyways, thank you, Latifa to Muniru. BC Moshe Bolaton. Imagine Buhari cannot visit the sites of the blast in Lagos. Human lives are so cheap in Nigeria. No, let them declare that the coronavirus affects cows. You will see your president in action. He's actually very active, a human. He's a very active person. But until something really matters and concerns him, he doesn't care. What's his business? What's his business? What are you saying? Anyways, Elizabeth Elijah is replying to it. Says fact. Kayode Stephen says it is because Africans are lazy. They always want somebody to take over their responsibility. If they don't call for military to help them, they will wait for US to help them. And if those ones don't come to help them, they will now call on God to help them. Bunch of lazy people. Nwachi Kingsley on Facebook says total dismemberment of Nigeria to our distinct nations as did Yugoslavia is the only breath of fresh air we can breathe. Religion is taking advantage of the poor governance in a working. Okay. Somebody is calling me bad boy. That's Andy Raji. Okay. So another person says whatever they know today in response to Charlie Boy Jr. says whatever they know today was stolen from Egypt, originally known as Kemet. Marvelous Iluobe on YouTube says the things of the spirit is foolishness to the wise. We are still subject to the creator. The pandemic is beyond control. Now we need God's intervention. The reality is that the pandemic is not beyond control. God knows about it. If you believe in the concept of God, I'm indifferent. But the reality is, man cannot claim not to know about the outbreak of this virus. Who named it? COVID-19. Meaning that as of 2019, they already named it and they already knew. This is March 2020. It's about the time they have been monitoring it to see the spread, to what extent it will reach. It is all of the problems with humanity is man-made. The problem humanity has is man-made. They are largely man-made. Act of God usually comes with its own help at the same time. See, when God sends something, He will send solution at the same time. No. For those of you that believe in the Bible, when God sent somebody to Jonah to Nineveh, He sent the fish to swallow him. He also sent the helper. He also sent the rescue. When God said, I'm going to end the world with what Yoruba will call a Ekwomi, the great flood during Noah's time, He also instructed Noah to build an ark. Isn't it? So there's no way God will send a disaster and not send relief afterward, immediately after it. In fact, before He sent it, He would have warned. And He would have also mentioned what relief you will use. Or is it not in the same Bible that we have, when I see the blood, I shall pass over you? Of course. So begin to apply blood. All of those things are just there to signify that most of the problems that defy solution or that have solution but is affecting humanity more than we expect or more than we can think or imagine are not of God. They are man-made. God did not create coronavirus. Otherwise, who named it? Anyways, I digressed. Thank you so much, Mr. Clement says, I love your program. I always love your program, brotherly from Italy. Thank you so much, Mr. Clement. And see, San says, I feel the clerics are not to blame alone. Nigerian Christians are something else when it comes to their style of following and reasoning. Assuming any Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, or etc. were attending a Nigerian church, person for no hear something, the majority would have believed they tapped from the pastor's anointing. See? Okay, Godwin says religion is personal. Speak for yourself. Of course, I'm speaking for myself. Alright, I'm speaking for myself that as a logical being, there are some things that are not right. You cannot be closing your shop against me as a member who has been financing your church ever since. So the time I need you the more, the time I expect to come into the church and get the balm of Gilead to cure myself of coronavirus, you are shutting your church against me until the coronavirus pandemic will be over. Can you imagine? Huh? And you ask me to speak for myself. Of course, I'm speaking for myself. I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to be foolish. And I'm not saying anybody is. Alright? We are just provoking a conversation here for everybody to think through. Alright? Isaiah 53 verse 1. What is there, bro? And who wrote it? Marvelous Ilobe says the virus is man-made and it is a weapon. But the weapon they created has now gone out of hand, leaving scores at the mercies of God. I've been indoor in Italy for over 2 weeks now. Oh, so sorry, bro. So sorry, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. So, somebody says now the Muslim can drink alcohol for them not to die. I thought it was an abomination for Muslims to drink alcohol. That's Uromi says. Well, like I always say, most of the things that we have, including marijuana, alcohol, herbs, leaves, plants, and the rest of them, are of God. They are of God, and they are there for times like this. God created them. So, if World Health Organization is now advising that you should use alcohol-based hand sanitizer to wash when you suspect or when your hand has touched something you suspect could be infected. Do you know what it means? No, do you know what it means? It simply means that you are no longer holding on to your faith if you use it. If it is a sin for you to touch alcohol or to use alcohol, why now believe in who as against your faith? Why believe in what health organization as at the detriment of your own conviction in your religion? Oh my God. Yes, I believe with you, Tokumbo, that those who created the virus also know the solution. It's just that they are not yet ready to release it. They just probably are waiting for some things. Maybe there's a number they want to see. They want to see maybe another person may just happen or accidentally happen at the cure before them. So that's just it. Anyways, Prince says, my brother, my view about Corona is that God wants to use this to bring the world together, to know Him more, united together, or to end the world. So why are pastors not saying this? Why is it that it is you that is saying it? Why are pastors not saying, no, God is... No, because during the time of Noah, they would have announced ahead that there will be great flood, though. It is coming so time, so we have built an ark. Abi? So if this is truly God made, how come we did not hear announcement that there will be this kind of virus and that this is the solution? That there will be an ark all of us should run into. Like I always tell some people, that Africa is the paradise those that wrote the Bible dreamt of. Yeah. This is the if only we had responsible leaders. This Africa is actually a paradise. I'm telling you. Because for one, all the things that they wrote in the Bible, there shall no more be pains, no more earthquake, no more disaster, no more this. Africa has those descriptions. Oh, a place where animals and human beings are friendly and relate and do all of this. They are describing Africa. A place where there are plantations, there are this, there are that, there's sea, there's everything you want in nature. Africa is the place they are describing. That they dream of, that they want. But because we lack good leadership, we don't have leaders at all in Africa. We have useless people in Africa as leaders. No exception, no. Everywhere in Africa, useless leaders. Otherwise, if those that are dreaming of Africa as the paradise, that they wish they have this, and they are trying to synthetically create what they want as that paradise in their own country, that we are now all into and scrambling to get visa to visit. If they are the ones who own this place, by now nah, Africa will be the paradise everybody is rushing to. But because we have mofos as leaders in Africa, that's why we are here. It's a big problem for us. Anyways, let me take a few more comments and close. So somebody said coronavirus it's not from God. I don't believe so either. So we are the problem of ourselves on earth. We humans eat ourselves too much. People fighting for supremacy. Absolutely, you captured it. Marvelous. You know, it says something. I'm of the opinion that the virus was prepared in a laboratory and already has an antidote. If it were God made, how come no pastor in Nigeria? Oh God, those ones are businessmen now. And this is if I were to be going to a church at this time, this is the time I will also renounce my membership of that church, especially if they close the church, their shop, against me because of the pandemic. That means you don't care about me, you only care about my offering and tithes. Sucker. So somebody says, yeah, because we have no true man of God. Matthew 10:26. That's according to Prince Berry. Maxoni says is replying to Ofo OBJ. So why will he take off religion from his program? Because he's speaking the truth. So you should be afraid you. I'm not afraid. So thank you for replying that person, Maxoni. I don't care. Religion is part of our problems and we are addressing problems. Tokumbo Temiodu says COVID-19 is a ritual virus. That's their means or ways of killing people to make sacrifice. So they wanted to get to certain numbers before they can announce the virus found. Tokumbo, who released the virus for that ritual, and what do they want to achieve by releasing such? Because you sound like you have information about the origin and purpose. Bayo Itaka on YouTube says Shegun, you don't know anything about God. Oh, I'm sorry, Bayo Moyaju, I must have blasphemed. But in case you know God one-on-one that I don't know about, kindly just offer information, and can you also help me interview him, talk to him, to tell us about this virus, since you know God and me I don't. Charlie boy, sorry I missed that. They say the end time is near. I've been hearing that since I was in the womb. Solution says religion is part of our problem. It's true. It's not only part, it's in fact one of the major problems. Solution. Alex says God has no hand in this. Man made this problem for themselves, so they would sort the way out as well. Absolutely, I agree. Good morning, my dear brother Shegolo. Thank you so much, Olufumila Yetunde, showing me. How are you, ma? And now it's Ebon. Daddy, how is he doing? Favor Ojabo says, please, so the church should close so to reduce the spread. Nigerian pastors, please, so shut the door up. Somebody says, how is the virus contracted? Well, Google will help. Because I'm about running off the show already. Somebody is replying to another person and says Matthew 10:26. Alright, people, I think at this point I gotta draw the curtain so that I don't overdo. It's not good to overdo. So I'm going to leave you with Larry Williams as I normally do. what's that person saying? Right on, Shego, my brother. I advise people to be spiritual instead of being religious. The point, Baba. Hey, Idris Abdul Karim. Yay! As I saw that comment, I, I didn't want to say that. It sounded like somebody's statement that he always says. Wow, Idris Abdul Karim, Baba. How you do? That's my person, my man, my man. Um, okay, let me take a few more because they're rushing in. Jeff says you don't pray for forgiveness of sin, just kindly believe in Christ and accept Jesus as your Lord. What if I'm a Muslim? Will I still not make heaven? Will God judge my religion instead of my character? You know. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta leave it at this point. Alright. And I say bye for now, people.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I dey vex so.
Safari.
On the door.
Free us. Free us. Free us.
I dey vex.
Free us.
I dey vex. Some they call me pagan, pagan, pagan. Then they say I be Satan, Satan, Satan. Cause I believe I be winner, winner, winner. Stop calling me a sinner, a sinner, sinner. If you truly believe in the church, oh, as I don't want to know. If you really believe in the mosque, oh, me I don't want to know. If you believing in the pastors, oh, as I don't want to know. If you believing in the imam, oh, me I don't want to know. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself. Oh lo lo lo. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself. Free yourself from mental slavery. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself. Oh go go go. Make you shine your eyes, and free yourself. Free yourself from mental slavery. Listen now. Oyibo come deceive us, deceive us, deceive us. Then come bring their Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Even the story about Jacob.
My ancestors make you save us.
My people make gonna wake up, wake up, wake up. If you truly believe in the church, oh, as I don't want to